Okay, hello, hi, welcome back to the Healing Girl Chronicles. It is I, the Healing Girl, and I am back with another video. So, if you are new here, hello, hi, thank you very much for being here. And if you're returning, shout out to you and thank you for returning. This space is a space for truth, healing, becoming, and renewal. I chronicle my experience with healing, and I just created this community for myself and other people who find resonance in my experience. And yeah, maybe we'll either go through the things that I'm talking about, you have already, or you don't even know what this lady's speaking about. But anyway, we move along. So I just want to speak about the changes that I have noticed since having traversed the very hard, arduous, painful, and transformative journey of healing. And it's been 7 years, going into my 8th now, and I am coming to the part of healing where there's a bit more joy, there's a bit more happiness, there's peace, there's self-containment, there's an effervescent joy, there's humanness and ability to embrace my humanness, the ability to accept my imperfection, because I've been someone who's been so fixated with perfection that it has literally cost me so much of my life because I was like a slave to it. So being in a position where I'm able to no longer conform to that system and no longer be subject to that stronghold, to me is incredible. So I'm really thankful. So I want to speak about these changes because for me, initially they were very disorientating. I think when you've either when you've grown up in a certain environment and when certain behaviors have become normalized and patterned for you to firstly have an awareness that somewhere, somehow, your patterning and conditioning and programming is either insufficient, incorrect, or somewhere is mal. It's not normal, it's abnormal. Or there are certain parts of your environments that you find that compared to maybe your peers or other people or certain information that you come across. And thus, when you come into an awareness of that, first for you to come into an awareness, and then second for you to actually take the necessary changes to change your patterning and conditioning that had really nothing to do with you. I think it takes an enormous amount of, number one, self-confrontation, because you need to come to an understanding that I think somewhere, somehow, I think I could be better. And I understand that certain things maybe have been obstacles that I need to remove, from my life. So taking that transformative step, that, speaking from experience, I completely understand why someone wouldn't want to blow up their lives, because that's essentially what healing is. Healing is a complete destruction, pulverization of your former self. You are literally, you are burning, you are dying to self. So there will be remnants of your old self, but they won't be the dominant, kind of ruling force in your life anymore. And that's an incredible change. It's a shift of axis, especially if you've been accustomed to a certain way. So when you embark on your journey and you start integrating things now that you want in your life, and you stop removing the things that you don't want in your life, people and things in your environment will actually literally respond to you differently. I remember when I was early in my journey and I would listen to other people, especially Nipsey Hussle, and he'd say certain things like, when you look back on your experiences, they're going to feel like nothing. And he says that it's because he knows that, because they feel like nothing for him too. And if you are a fan of Nipsey Hussle and you listen to his music, you know how incredibly honest and, expressive and transparent he is about his emotions and about the certain things he's gone through his life. So quite powerful, his testimonies are incredible, they're powerful, quite emotive. So for him to have experienced a pain that I can relate to, and to have listened to him at that place where I was so consumed and like encased in pain, I didn't hear what he said then. I heard him, but it didn't resonate with me. But now I'm coming to the point of healing where that's why I'm remembering it now. It's resonating because I'm like, oh, this is what he was speaking about. So I'm so grateful and thankful to be in this place where I can look back on certain things and, have a different perspective, and also understand that my environment is also changing, and thus I'm just having really interesting responses. I am, even my disposition, I think it's not necessarily other people, it's just me. It's me having changed. It's me having maybe more of an open aura, an inviting kind of presence. It's me no longer like being riddled with, so many thoughts and feeling defensive and feeling angry. I'm no longer existing in that world. I'm existing where I am peaceful. I self-check what's in my mind, thoughts that don't serve me, I remove them from my mind. They've got nothing to do with me. I'm able to do that kind of distinction of thoughts and of importance, whereas previously I couldn't. So I know that there's someone out there who might stumble upon this, and you are knee deep in healing, and you are so overwhelmed, you are so despondent, you are feeling like you are in the pits of hell. And I want to tell you, as someone who is in the fight with you, someone who knows how you feel, someone who's been in the pits of hell knee deep, just surviving day by day, I just want to let you know that if the other people don't seem to reach you, maybe my voice will cut through for whatever reason. And I want you to know that it does get better. Changes are there. People do. It's not even the other people, because I don't really want to talk about certain changes and stuff, because that's for my observation. But I just want to let you know that the universe really and truly does respond differently to you when you show up differently. And I know some of these things sound like woo, like Hogwartsy, Harry Potter ish kind of hogwash, and it's not. And I think that's the reason why they've marketed this kind of information as woo woo, so that the people could literally like discredit it and not actually look at it, because it's already classified as woo woo. And the last thing that people want to be is non-conformist. People want to form parts of the shuffling of the sheep folk. People don't want to really think outside, and people don't want to have critical thinking. And I understand, because you're going to be an outlier, you're going to automatically be the problem. I understand now why, shout out to Stormzy, he used to call himself the problem. And I understand now, listening to his music and knowing what a big political activist he actually is. I understand why he would be the problem, because he's saying things that people don't want to hear and people don't want to say, and therefore he's problematic. And I also understand why people wouldn't want to be on the fringes of society, where you are labeled and you are called and you are misidentified as something that you are not, because it's not an easy place to be. People break under that pressure. People who are part of a system will always make you feel some type of way for either refusing or having enough willpower and maybe having enough self knowledge to be like, no, I don't want to do that. And people will feel some kind of way when you don't want to participate, because they're not used to defiance, rebellion. They just used to conformity. So yeah, shout out to the rebels in the world. I know being a rebel comes with a lot, but I feel like, you know being a rebel is a calling. Not everyone can be a rebel. And to all the rebels out there, keep rebelling, keep being yourselves, keep being the outliers. The world is ruled and changed by us, not common folk. So yeah, whew, I sound I don't know where that came from, but I don't know. But anyway, I'm feeling very. If you didn't know, I'm obviously clearly feeling myself, and it's a great place to be, because there was a time when I don't even have to speak about that, but I'm happy to be here, because also shout out to Nipsey Hussle. He says you must have an overwhelming sense of confidence. You must be your own biggest fan, and to me, that's my frequency now. I am my own biggest fan. I'm my own hype man. I don't need any addition or cosign. Yeah, I'm the product, because I'm really the product. Shout out to Cat Williams. Okay, also bye.